evening. This is Crash Talk. I'm Mike Harber, your host. And this evening, I am bringing back an attorney that we spoke with from Cleveland, Ohio, Erica Eversman. And Erica has really focused her practice on insurance matters. A lot has to do with collision and even assisting body shops in understanding the relationships and who the customer is and who the responsibility for doing a proper repair. But she evidently heard Steve talk about class actions and the myth, and she had an idea. And so I want everyone to be able to hear Erica's understanding of kind of some of the issues that go on that most of us would pass right over. My disclaimer, as always, Mike Harber, my associates, my employees from Harber Appraisal or CrashTalk, we are not attorneys. We are not giving legal advice. If you need legal advice, you need to seek that from a practicing attorney in your area. We do have many good attorneys that we can give you a referral if you need someone to review your claim or assist you in a matter that you need legal representation.
You want to talk to your class action lawyers about this. This is the phrase I told you that I learned from the health care reps, because this is how they describe how the insurers do it. They call it post-loss underwriting. That they start making up all these rules and limitations and adding terms to the policy that didn't exist when you signed the policy. So that whole, we don't pay for that, post-loss underwriting.
Wow.
Yep. Post-loss underwriting. So I have now incorporated that in as, post-loss underwriting. Yeah. We're changing the terms after you have a loss.
Well, right now with Corona, there appears to be some policies that have exposure for lost business revenue.
Oh, yes.
And I was just sent, day before yesterday, somebody got a renewal, and in the renewal, we don't cover anything that has to do with sickness, disease, yada, yada, yada. And they're putting them out now. And that's going to be,
I got to tell you one last thing about that. And that is, how the insurers, and again, I'm assuming it happened in Washington. I'm assuming it happened in Washington because it happened in various other states. And that was, this whole, we know things are really hard for everybody right now, and we're such good auto insurers that we're giving you back 15%.
Erica, again, thank you very much. Your insights are amazing. And thank you for letting us know what those rascals were doing and these refunds that are coming and how that came about. Not just out of the goodness of their heart, but somebody somewhere had to kind of step on their toes a little bit to make them stand up and say, yeah, we're probably taking in too much money right now. We need to give a little bit back. So thank you for that. Anyway, this has been a little bit brief tonight. Maybe what we're going to do, we'll share a couple comments from a couple of our past customers that we've helped, and you can hear what they have to say.
I had a car that is about 3 years old, and it was totaled out. The other motorists in the accident were more or less underinsured or uninsured. So I submitted the claim to my own insurance company, and I got a statement of total loss on my vehicle that was roughly 3 years old. What they were showing as the value for that car was quite a bit less than what that car would sell for, either from a private business or on a lot. And I was scrambling. I'm like, okay, I'm a little broke from a car accident, and how am I going to replace this vehicle when they are not giving me enough capital to replace it? You know,
Sure.
I felt like I wasn't being given a fair deal. And when I tried to negotiate with my claim adjuster, she was just totally not into it. She wouldn't budge on the amount. I was calling around various personal injury attorneys, and I talked to Park and Shinar, and I was talking to a woman who's a paralegal there. I believe her name is Lola, and she said that I should, if I have, you know, like substantial property damage loss, I should give Harber Appraisal a call. And so I got the recommendation from her at Park and Shinar, and they mostly handle, you know, like personal injury type stuff.
Right.
And I've been very blessed that, you know, the amount of injury I've suffered is not as severe as it could have been in a total loss type accident. But with, I mean, I'm definitely still exploring my options there, as well as, like, you know, still receiving medical care. But I just didn't really have time to wait for that whole process, you know, with the personal injury. And I, you know, got a lot of very useful information from her. And she says, you know, if I get worse, don't feel better, like that I should still reach out, and that I still have that option, and that getting my car appraised doesn't take, and settling on the property damage doesn't take away anything from my personal injury
So
claim.
how did we kind of help walk you through the process?
Well, I recall I left a voicemail, which you responded to on the next business day. And we began communicating over email. I started sending you information about my total loss settlement with my insurance company. And I began getting all that information to you, information about my vehicle, and getting you in touch with the property damage adjuster. And you gave me information on invoking what you call the appraiser clause.
Right.
So I was able to do that and collect the undisputed amount, basically what they were offering me on the vehicle, but without saying, oh, I accept this amount as, you know, the final amount. You know, I didn't say I'm settling. I just said, I accept the funds now, and then I will, you know, basically have your people see my people, which was nice because I was able to use the money they gave me toward replacing my loss. And I was warned that the rental car that they gave me as part of my insurance would be basically taken away within several days after they give me a total loss settlement. And, you know, that they did end up taking that away. And it was nice having something there to replace my vehicle, but then actually being able to go through the process with you is giving me enough money to actually, you know, pay off more or less the difference. Whereas before I would have been stuck with just paying what they thought my vehicle was worth and what it cost to replace it.